Good evening. I'd like to call to order the Mount Carmel Area School District Combined Virtual and Live School Board Meeting. Can I have a roll call?
Mr. Brecker,
Here.
Mr. Brett, Mr. Brett,
After that.
Mr. Gonzalo,
Here.
Mrs. James is here, Mrs. Latour,
Here.
Mr. Mazzatesta,
Here.
Mr. Muldowney's absent, Mr. Zach,
Here.
Mr. Zanella.
Here.
Did Mr. Britt join us?
I don't see Mr. Britt in the meeting. Oh, there he is. He's here.
Okay.
Okay. Can I have a pledge of allegiance? Pledge allegiance
To the
the
flag
flag
of the United States
of America,
and to the
the
republic
republic
Which it
for which it
stands,
stands, one
one
nation,
nation,
under God, indivisible, with liberty
liberty,
and
and
justice
justice for
for
all.
all.
Have a moment of silence. Thank you. Announcements?
Yes, I have two. First of all, this is for the public, just to let everybody know that the Silver Bowl will be reopened to walkers beginning tomorrow. So the Silver Bowl will be open for those that walk on the track, only on the track, will be open tomorrow. However, the restrooms will not be open due to concerns with COVID-19 sanitation. The restrooms will not be open. We ask those that come to use the Silver Bowl to please refrain from touching any items, if at all possible. Just come use the facility track to get some physical activity in, and then please leave and try not to touch anything at the stadium, please. Second announcement is the June board meeting is going to be moved until the 25th of June. Thursday, June 25th will be the regular monthly June school board meeting. That's all, Mr. Zach.
Thank you. Recognition of the Student Merit Award winners, high school Brianna Tamborelli for March and elementary Callie Mauer for March. They will be recognized when the public is allowed to participate at our meetings. Approval of the minutes. I need a motion to approve the minutes of April 16th, 2020 regular board meeting.
Motion.
Second.
Who seconded that?
Jose.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
PTA representative report.
I don't know if there's a PTA representative out there from the public, but there's
Okay.
none present.
All right. Recognition of guests desiring to speak to the listed agenda items. Please state your name and address. There isn't any. The administrative report, superintendent.
Yeah, I'm going to give some general information about. Okay, there we go. I'm going to give some general information about end of year activities. Mrs. Rano, I'm sure, and maybe the other administrators might go into more detail. Graduation, we've been filming virtual diploma receipt of the seniors this whole week. Tomorrow's our last session. That will be aired on June 5th. Mrs. Rano can give more details. June 5th is the original graduation date. And on June 5th, we're planning a parade in vehicles at the school for students to receive some of the awards and their diplomas if they've earned them, etc. That's going to be on June 5th. Details coming. Seniors are going to be reminded to keep checking their email for details, and we're planning another senior meeting. And we're planning still to hold a live graduation ceremony on August 8th with the rain date of August 9th at the Silver Bowl if permitted, and possibly a later date if for some reason we can't move ahead with Thanksgiving and possibly maybe even an earlier date if we can somehow make it happen. But August 8th is what we're kind of trying to focus in on right now because obviously it's not going to happen in a live situation on June 5th. Class 9 awards, planning a videotape virtual session. Mrs. Rano give more details. The prom, we are doing Think Big's virtual prom next week. And then we have some plans for a possible live event a little bit later in the summer. Mrs. Rano will give the details on that as well. We're working with our local ministerium on plans for a potential baccalaureate event. And please look for June 5th for the final airing of the seniors receiving their diplomas in the gym, which we've been taping this week. And at that time, we'll also hear the speeches from the valedictorian, salutatorian, and class president. And that's all I have right now, Mr. Zach.
Thank you. Principals report, senior high.
Yes, good evening, everyone. I'm just going to start by talking a little bit about the instruction that will be wrapping up over the next few weeks. Our teachers and teaching assistants have been working with our students in a virtual platform through Google Classroom. That'll be wrapping up, and their daily videos and instruction will be ending so teachers can get their final grades and supplies can be collected. All students who have not already done so are encouraged to check out the guidance office page on our school closure resource page in order to complete course scheduling for the upcoming school year. And if anybody in the public has any questions about that, they can just simply call our office and our guidance counselors will call them back to walk them through that. As Mr. Steller said, we have very many end of year events that we are still planning. We are finishing up our filming of our virtual diploma ceremony, and an event such as that, I need to thank a few people. Deb Parkansky for decorating. Erica Nestico is our senior class advisor. Mrs. Trish Sheehy, who put together the senior slideshow. Mr. McPhee and Mr. Trefsker for videotaping and filming. The administration and our school SRO who have come together in order to make this event a success. While we realize it does not replace a regular graduation, it is still a special event and documents a period in our history that is unprecedented. So it was very important. I want to thank those people for helping us pull this off. There will be more details coming on the June 1st class night ceremony. Students will not be involved in that. We will be taping the announcement of awards and airing that so we can get those awards out to our students, as well as June 5th, the car parade that we are planning in order for students to pick up some of their class pins and their diploma. Most important thing would be to remind our students to keep checking their school email and our social media, Facebook and Twitter pages, because that is where our information is coming. So that is all I have for this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Rano. Junior high.
Good evening, everyone. I just have two brief announcements. First of all, I'd like to give a huge shout out to our Nutrition Inc. staff. Since the COVID-19 closure on March 13th, there's been over 8,000 breakfasts and lunches totaling 16,000 meals have gone out to our kids. Mary Hinkle, Jean Gasparetti, Ann Stutz-Cabbage, Sharon Bressie, Karen Steck, Giselle Schikowitz, Kathy Hoffman, Kim Hornig, Elizabeth Krulak, Carol Kerner, Meg Yeager, and Steph Andruskavage. On behalf of the school board and the administration and our entire district, we are so proud of all these ladies. They stepped up in a leadership position. And again, we're very proud to say 16,000 meals have gone out to our learning community. So thank you, ladies, again. Also, finally, just thank you to SCI Cole Township, Superintendent Tom McGinley, Unit Manager Jill Fisher, and Activities Manager Michael Corbaccio. They generously donated to our tornado buddy bags this month with various toiletries, shirts, socks. Again, it's much appreciated, and that will be part of our tornado buddy bag giveaway, which we will be conducting tomorrow, Friday, as well as every Friday during the summer months. So again, thank you to SCI Cole Township. That's all I have.
Thank you. Elementary school.
Good evening, it's Mrs. Stepanowski. First, I just want to take the time to thank the faculty and staff who assisted with our kindergarten farewell activities the last 3 nights, including Officer Campbell. We took pictures of the students. They got to say goodbye to their friends and to their teacher, and they received their cap, and they also got their belongings that were left behind before school closure. Next week, starting next week, we have diploma distribution, which will take place by the soccer field for all students to receive their diplomas. And on June 3rd, there will be a parade in town. Details were shared via email with the school board in case you need to know any of those details. The yearbook is online orders. We put it out there on Facebook for parents, and they're due June 1st. And if parents have any pictures of their students or their children with their siblings doing online learning or from Online Spirit Week or with their pets, that we could finish out our yearbook for the school year. New student enrollment, kindergarten registration, and transfer student registration. They're now online on the school's website. And we are working on a schedule, and there will be more information to come on student belonging pickup and book drop off at the elementary school.
Thank you, Susie. Special education?
Good evening. I just have a couple of things. I want to thank the teachers and the staff that have been working really hard through this challenging time. What they've accomplished is truly amazing. So I just want to say thank you to them, and also thank you to the families that have been truly supportive and helpful with, helping their child through this pandemic and helping them move forward in their education. And currently we're preparing for our extended school year program. That is typically, it's 6 weeks over the summer, and we're still going to be offering that 6 weeks over the summer. However, it will be offered virtually. So similar to how we're doing our virtual learning now, we're also going to offer that extended school year program virtually. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Maintenance report?
Yes, good evening. We are continuing to clean and disinfect our schools on a regular basis, and additional products will be ordered for the upcoming school year. Right now, availability is an issue, so we'll continue to stay on top of that. One bright spot to come out of this is that we were able to start our normal summer cleaning and floor waxing programs, which generally take all summer. We're anxiously awaiting the arrival of our new electrostatic sanitizing disinfecting machine. This machine will enable us to completely disinfect a typical classroom in approximately 5 to 10 minutes. So we're excited about that. We recently started our next phase of our capital improvements project. The new concrete entrance pad has been poured by the high school mechanical room. Also, 5 new water inlet storm drains have been set in place. The last step of this phase will take place in June with a fresh coat of asphalt on the east side and the rear of the high school. And finally, we are still in need of a few custodial and maintenance positions to fill. So if you know of anyone, get the word out, please. And that's all I have. Thank you and have a great evening.
Thank you, Dave. Athletic director's report?
Just a follow-up on what Mr. Stellers made with his public notice that the track is going to be open. I'll just remind everybody that, again, the bathroom facilities aren't open, and we all must continue to follow social distancing guidelines and protocols mandated by state and federal government. Violators of those rules will not be permitted to use the track. Also, the track will be open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. daily. So please make note of that. Also, there's been a lot of speculation going on, of course, with sports, when it's starting, when it's ending, if it's going to start at all. There was a meeting of the PIAA Board of Directors yesterday afternoon. There was some clarification given. Right now, the situation is this. I'll read what came out of the statement that came out of that meeting. With the governor's development of the red, yellow, and green phases of opening counties across the Commonwealth, the Pennsylvania PIAA Board of Control is committed to permitting activities in those areas of the state that may be open under the governor's orders. If permitted, the PIAA will no longer be holding to a common date of July 1st for out-of-season activities. Basically, what this is saying, they're adhering to whatever the state guidelines are. Right now, we are in yellow. So therefore, we cannot open our facilities up. under the yellow guidelines. And it's still county by county, right? It does not recognize district boundaries or regional with TIAA classifications. We still go by county by county. If our county or any county should change into the green at any time in the near future, right, the July 1st deadline will be taken away and we'll be able to start out of the season activities. So we'll be all closely watching what's going on there. And as soon as that moves to green, and if there's official notification of that, I will be letting everybody know that immediately, and as well as our coaches and our players, and we'll get going as soon as possible. But that's the official information I have right now. I cannot tell you anything about whether seasons are starting earlier or not starting at all. Right now, everything is on tap for the beginning of the season for this year because nothing has changed. So if there's any other questions, I'll try to answer them, but that's what came out of yesterday's meeting.
Thank you, Greg. Athletic items. A motion is needed to approve athletic items 1 through 3 as listed. I will read them. Accept the resignation of Edward Stewart as a volunteer junior high football coach as per the letter presented effective May 4, 2020. 2, accept the resignation of Thomas Moser as junior high cross-country coach as per letter presented effective May 5th, 2020. Number 3, approve hire Mike Chicatano as assistant varsity football coach at step 1 at a salary of $1,900 as per the letter presented. All clearances are on file.
Motion. Second.
Who made that motion?
Mr. Brett.
And second?
Tony.
Who made, who?
Tony Mazzatesta.
Oh, okay, thank you. Roll call, Mr. Brecker,
Yes.
Mr. Brett,
Yes.
Mr. Gonzalo,
Yes.
Mrs. James votes yes, Mrs. Latour,
Yes.
Mr. Mazzatesta,
Yes.
Mr. Muldowney's absent, Mr. Zach,
Yes.
and Mr. Zanella.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Financial items. A motion is needed to approve the financial items 1 through 4. 1, the treasurer's report. 2, cafeteria report. 3, athletic fund report. And 4, payment of the bills.
Motion.
Is that Mr. Brett, did you motion?
Yes, he did.
Okay, and that was Mr. Zanella that seconded?
Yep.
Okay. Roll call, Mr. Gonzalo,
Yes.
Mrs. James votes yes, Mrs. Latour,
Yes.
Mr. Mazzatesta,
Yes.
Mr. Muldowney's absent. Mr. Zach,
Yes.
Mr. Zanella,
Yes.
Mr. Brecker,
Yes.
and Mr. Brett.
Yes.
Committee reports.
Mount Carmel Education Foundation will meet tonight following the school board meeting. And please continue to support the school district's education foundation initiatives by donating. You can donate via PayPal on the website or send a check to the district office named toward whatever item you'd like to donate toward in the name of Education Foundation. Thank you.
New business action items. A motion is needed to approve new business items 1 through 9. There was an additional item
There
added
was.
to the agenda. Number 1, approve the flexible instruction day application to PD as presented. 2, approve the memorandum of understanding between the Susquehanna University Student Teaching Program and Mount Carmel School District as presented. 3, approve the memorandum of understanding between the Northumberland Area Head Start Agency and the Mount Carmel Area School District as presented. 4, approve the memorandum of understanding between the Mount Carmel Township Police Department in the Mount Carmel Area School District as presented. 5, approve the use of facilities by Mount Carmel Area School District Title I and Mount Carmel Area PTA as per the facilities access request presented. Current insurance certificate on file. 6, approve the scholarship in memory of Randy Moyer as per the letter presented. Number 7, approve the second and final readings of the following board policies and attachment. Number 8, approve the 2020-2021 fiscal year proposed final budget in the amount of $20,941,168.44 and to authorize it being advertised and made available for inspection as per the PA school code. Final adoption will be an action item at the June meeting. Number 9, approve the 2020-2021 Northumberland County Career and Technology Center budget as presented. Mount Carmel area's contribution will be $449,731.30.
Motion.
Second, Cheryl Latour.
Thank you. Okay. Mr. Mazzatesta,
Yes.
Mr. Muldowney's absent. Mr. Zach,
Yes.
Mr. Zanella,
Yes.
Mr. Becker,
Yes.
Mr. Britt,
Yes.
Mr. Gonzalo,
Yes.
Mrs. James Felches, Mrs. Latour.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Personnel items. A motion is needed to approve personnel items 1 through 6 as listed. Number one is tabled. 2, we accept the retirement of Lucille Shimko as a full-time aide as to her letter presented. 3, approve to reclassify Bernie Steller as a music teacher as per the terms of his contract effective July 1st, 2020. Number 4, hire John Darab as junior high principal at a salary of $65,000, including benefits, effective July 1st, 2020. This is an Act 93 position. He will be replacing Pete Cheddar, who will be in the role of superintendent. Number 5 was eliminated. Number 6, a motion is needed to accept the applications, place them on file, and add it to the substitutes list pending file completion.
Motion. Second.
Who made that motion?
Mr. Brett.
Thank you. And was that Mr. Mazzatesta that seconded it?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay, Mrs. Latour,
Yes.
Mr. Mazzatesta,
Yes.
Mr. Muldowney's absent. Mr. Zach,
Yes.
Mr. Zanella,
Yes.
Mr. Becker,
Yes.
Mr. Britt,
Yes.
Mr. Gonzalo,
Yes.
Ms. James Felches.
At this time, do we have any public comments or questions? Before I adjourn the meeting, I just want to remind the regular meeting from June 18th, and we move to June 25th. Motion to adjourn?
Motion, Cheryl Latour.
Second, Jose.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you all very much.
Night. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks. Good night.